thank you, Advancement Courses, for sponsoring today's show. Stay tuned at the end of the show to learn how to save 20% for online professional development. 5 ideas for getting parents to read with their kids, no matter the age. Episode 475.
The 10-Minute Teacher Podcast with Vicki Davis. Every weekday, you'll learn powerful, practical ways to be a more remarkable teacher today.
Today, we're talking with Amy Mascott, author of Raising a Rock Star Reader and Early Childhood Educators. She has a new book coming out June 1st called Setting the Stage for Rock Star Readers. And today, we're going to talk about some ideas to help parents read with their kids, no matter the age. So, Amy, when you say no matter the age, I should be reading with my 17-year-old, huh?
Well, I don't know if you want to sit down every night with a busy 17-year-old, but I definitely think you guys could be reading the same books and talking about them. So yes, I'm saying any age, from babies to even our big kids.
Awesome. Okay, so where do we start? What's number one?
Well, you definitely want to, and this might sound a little hokey, but we want to cherish books. So I feel like when kids are first born, we give books as gifts and then we stop that. So we want to definitely continue giving books as gifts. Put books in Easter baskets, put books in stockings, give books as rewards for, doing great on a report card. And I think that, because we so often forget to do that, when we look at books as gifts, we're showing how important they are. We can also, if we don't want to spend the money, we can just go to the library. Parents can physically take their kids to the library and spend an hour or two on a weekend there, and you'll be surprised how that really reignites the love of reading. Lauren Tarshis, who's a editor-in-chief of Scholastic Classroom magazines and author of all of the I Survived series, she says kids want to read books that make them laugh and that introduce them to new places, cultures, and new kinds of people. How do we do that? Get the kids to the library or put new books in their hands.
And, with so many books, I try to write in the front, because we should cherish books. So I gave all of my family and so many of my friends this book called Atomic Habits that I just love this past Christmas. And I just wrote, something meaningful in the front. I know that's something my parents have always done with me. I love that. Okay, what's our second?
So second, you want to use Fringe Hours. And the Fringe Hours are those little bits of time between things, in the car when you are driving to soccer practice, or when you are sitting with 2 kids on the sideline of a practice, or waiting in the lobby of dance practice. You can read during those times. You can listen to audiobooks in the car during carpool times or on spring break trips if you're driving. We love audiobooks for that reason. We love Frindle by Andrew Clements, or anything by Andrew Clements for any age. Especially elementary, middle school, they love Andrew Clements books, and they are great for laughing together, talking about the challenges that the characters experience. Or something like The One and Only Ivan by Kay Applegate is so good in an audiobook. For older kids, Out of My Mind by Sharon Draper just gives you so many great things to talk about. So using those Fringe Hours is awesome. Even one 16-year-old girl in the Scholastic Kids and Family Reading Report said, "I don't have time to read books that I want. I liked it better when I was younger and could read anything I wanted or anytime I wanted." Using Fringe Hours helps with that exact problem.
And when you listen to audiobooks, it just gives you a great conversation starter, doesn't it?
Totally does, yes. And it lets our kids listen to what fluent reading should sound like.
Totally. Okay, what's our third?
Third is you want to read anything. Often we think that reading just counts as books, and that's not true at all. Parents can read the newspaper with their kids. If you're not a subscriber to the hard copy, then you could print out an article from the internet and just put that article or a magazine or something interesting from Facebook, whatever a parent sees that is conversation worthy or high interest, they could put that out on the counter for their kids to read during breakfast, put a little Post-it note on it that says, "You will love this," with an arrow to it, or "Can you believe this?" question mark, with an arrow, and just leave it for your kids on the counter. I think that's a great way of emphasizing that reading does not have to be sitting down with a 300-page novel all the time.
Yes. And, some of my most cherished articles I have are those that my dad cut out of the newspaper and wrote a note to me because he's a farmer and he's given me some pieces on taking care of our farm, and they're written. Reading is just so important, and you do hand it down when you do that. Okay, so what's our fourth?
Our fourth is to make a habit of reading. And this is hard. When kids are little, we often incorporate books as part of the bedtime routine, which is amazing. And that's exactly what we want to do. But that actually declines by the time kids turn 9. Research has shown in the Kids and Family Reading Report that reading proficiency by 3rd grade is a clear predictor of academic success, right? But just at that stage, it shows that children's frequency of reading books for fun starts to drop. Only 35% of 9-year-olds report reading 5 to 7 days a week, compared to 57% of 8-year-olds. So we have to make that habit of reading even after kids turn 9. Kids love to read with their parents. So maybe if evenings are busy with sports and activities, start the day with a little bit of reading. Or maybe it's not every single morning, but Monday, Wednesday, Friday are sit down and read at breakfast time. Or if you're a homeschool family, maybe reading at lunch. If you're a teacher, start the day with a chapter of a book, anything to keep a habit of reading. And it's interesting that reading aloud is a prescription for lifelong success for the child and a dose of deep well-being for the family. Guess who said that? The amazing Pam Allen. So we need to, as many reading experts say, just keep that read aloud as a habit.
I fell in love with reading when my 5th grade teacher, Ginger Collins, read out loud A Wrinkle in Time. And we did it every day. And she sat in her rocking chair and read to us. And it was like, it was just exciting. And I did the same thing with my kids in Chronicles of Narnia when they were in elementary school, and just helping them level up their book level, I think, so they can find things that are a little older and exciting. Okay, so what's our 5th?
Our 5th is that we need to give parents the tools they need, right? Like, I feel so strongly that when people know better, they do better. And so let's give parents the tools that they need to support their kids. Let's give them book lists. Like, here are 10 great books for your 4th grader to read, at home with you. Let's give parents lists of books for their 6th grader, their 8th grader. Like, they will get those books at the library and sit down and read with kids if they have that list. But sometimes it's just so hard to know where to start. It's overwhelming, right? We want to give parents lists of diverse books that represent their own family and their own kids. We want to make sure that parents have discussion points, starting points. For our emerging readers who are just building that foundation, let's tell parents, what can they say when their kids make reading mistakes? How can they support their learners that way? Especially in schools when we have things like reading nights or open libraries or anything that kind of encourages families to come into those doors. We want to have translators. We want to have people who can, meet families where they are so that everybody feels welcome and everybody has the tools that they need, no matter where they're coming from.
Reading is just so important. And as you said, it's an important indicator of academic success. And I just want to encourage those who say, well, my child is in 4th or 5th and they're not great at reading. But I'll tell you, 2 of my 3 children have learning differences. I would never call them disabilities because they just learn differently. And my best reader was not a great reader until 5th grade, just because of dyslexia. So persist and persist. And my husband set a rule that he would read an hour a night, and he still reads every single day, at least an hour or 2, and he's 17. So reading is something that every student needs, every child needs, and we need to persist and help them because it does open an opportunity for a lifetime of learning. Thanks.
Thanks, Vicki.
So today I want to tell you about the Advancement Courses Spring Sale. You can save 20% off each course with the code COOL20. So that's just $120 per graduate credit hour or $160 for 50 clock hours. Advancement Courses has over 250 online graduate level PD courses in 19 different subject areas. They have standard content areas like math, science, and social studies, but also have courses that are a little harder to find like PE or the arts, counseling, teacher wellness, social emotional learning, and special education courses. And they've even got a new course on makerspaces in the school library. All of these courses are online and self-paced, and you have up to 6 months to complete them. Graduate credit is available with an official transcript from your CAEP and regionally accredited university partners. So to take advantage of the spring sale, go to advancementcourses.com/CoolCat. And remember, use the code COOL20 to get your special 10-minute teacher discount and save 20%.
Thank you for listening to the 10-Minute Teacher Podcast. You can download the show notes and see the archive at coolcatteacher.com/podcast. Never stop learning.